customary for the chair of the board of the Valley United Way to briefly discuss the state of the organization at the annual meeting. And I'd like to do that now. My remarks are fairly brief, and after that, dinner will be served. If you look at the inside cover of our annual report, the heading is New Beginnings. And that's ironic for an organization whose roots go back to the 1930s and were solidified with the merger into the Valley United Fund in 1968. However, in the last few months, Valley United Way's move into its fourth home since 1968 is a great story that does mark a new beginning. The story is one move, is a great community story. The old Lafayette School served the city of Shelton for 100 years since its opening in 1911, and with some luck is now on its way to another 100 years of service to the Valley. Let me start by thanking Mayor Mark Mallory and the Shelton Board of Aldermen for offering us the opportunity to bring new life to this grand old school. I'd also like to thank our neighbors at Center Stage, who also found themselves looking for a new home at this time, and were the first to recognize the tremendous potential of this building. The agreement that we have with the city is good for the city, good for United Way, good for Center Stage, and good for the entire Valley community. Turning that vision of new space into reality required imagination, funding, and a lot of sweat equity. We were very fortunate to have secured grants from a number of funding partners and to help us transform the old media center into an incredible new office and community space, complete with 2 conference rooms that are already seeing plenty of use. With the financial support in place, we turned to Mike Marsnick and his talented crew at Fletcher Thompson to transform the existing space into our new home. Only an architectural firm with the expertise of Fletcher Thompson could have given us such a great design and then turned it into a reality. With their plan in hand, Mike secured donations of carpeting and ceiling tiles, and then worked with Debbie Lewis at HealthNet to get all of our office furniture donated as well. Then it was a sweat equity part, as volunteers spearheaded by employees at Fletcher Thompson began the work. They were joined by the carpentry class at Emmett O'Brien Regional Tech, who practiced their skills by helping to build some of the walls. Dozens of other volunteers showed up to scrape, sand, paint, and clean. And when they were all done, we had a dramatic new office that I would invite all of you to visit if you have not been there yet. This truly is a remarkable example of government, nonprofits, and business working together for the benefit of the community. At the end of the day, however, it's the people and programs that make the real difference in the community. And we were very fortunate to have many positives take place during the past year. Let me start by praising the work of Joe Pagliaro Jr. and his campaign cabinet, and all the volunteers who worked so hard on this year's campaign. I can't emphasize enough that all the great things that happen through the Valley United Way are only possible because of the campaign. We'll hear a lot more from Joe later on tonight. About 3 hours, right, Jim? Once the campaign volunteers are finished with their work, the Allocations Committee has the unenviable task of putting those dollars to work in the community through the annual allocations process. Adrian Cabral and the members of the Allocations Committee have done their outstanding job with thoroughness and fairness. There are never enough dollars to go around, but the Allocation Committee makes the recommendations to the board to ensure that those dollars are used efficiently and wisely. The committee now also handles our special needs grants process, which handles a smaller grant program tied to donor-designated dollars. Keeping our finances in the black requires the diligent work of a strong finance committee. Under the guidance of our treasurer, Greg DiStefano, they were able to do just that during the past fiscal year, as you can see from the financial report in your annual report. Everyone knows about the dollars raised and distributed to support the work of our incredible partner agencies. However, when you get beyond the numbers, you get to see the real strength of the United Way, and that it's in the hands-on involvement of our board, our staff, and the volunteers in the Valley. It's something in which we take a great pride, but let me ask you some questions to see what you know about those activities. Did you know that the young people you see helping around the room tonight are part of the Youth Leadership Program? And that's just starting its 23rd year of training the next generation of community leaders. And that Jimmy Tickey, a former member of that group, now serves on our board. Did you know that the United Way partnered with Valley Council for Health and Human Services and the Greater Valley Chamber of Commerce to offer Leadership Greater Valley program for the 16th straight year? And that Mike Figueroa is just the latest of many who have gone through this program and are now on our board. Did you know that our High School Volunteer Council brings together every public high school in the Valley monthly during the school year to share their stories and give back to the community, and that former member, Melissa Pucci, is now our Secretary of the Board. It's going to be a test after. Did you know that the United Way helped start the Valley Council for Health and Human Services 18 years ago and continues to provide support services for this remarkable collaborative of nonprofits serving the Valley? Did you know that the United Way serves as a collaborative agent for Ansonia, Sheldon, and a regional Valley effort to boost early childhood education programs supported by the Brownstein Foundation? Did you know that the Corporate Volunteer Council conducts monthly clothing drives that generate more than $99,000 worth of clothing donations for the Valley just this past year? Did you also know that in addition to the monthly drives, the CVC clothed 150 needy children in Shelton for the new school year and has now clothed over 2,200 children since the program started with a value of $425,000. Did you know that the CVC collects cell phones and knitted blankets for victims of domestic violence? The CVC conducts monthly food drives to help keep the shelves of our local food banks stocked. Did you know that the CVC has even built an entire house, Harvest House 4? Yes, it was done 4 times. Made out of food this year. It was a project that captures the heart and imagination of everyone in the Valley and beyond. And it's an amazing project. Let me pause for a minute at this point and ask all of you members of the CVC to stand and take a bow for all they do in the Valley. Thank you all for all your work. Just a couple more quick questions. Did you know that the Valley United Way and our friends at the Chamber work closely with the Connecticut Department of Labor's Rapid Response Team to assist workers whenever there's a large loss of jobs in the Valley? Did you know that the United Way, the Valley Y, Griffin Hospital, and the Chamber help to improve the health of workers from all over the Valley through the Community Corporate Cup? And finally, did you know that the United Way movement is celebrating its 125th anniversary this year? That's a lot of questions for one night. I was only kidding about the test. But you can find it all in the answers on the pages of the annual report, or simply by talking with the people in the room tonight and finding out how they live united. Some of those people that you should definitely speak to, and I want to thank publicly before we move on, are the members of the Board of Directors, our staff at the Valley, and our staff at the Valley United Way. You cannot hope to work with a more dedicated group of people anywhere. Thank you all.